King James Bible, Genesis to 1-9, the Edenic Covenant,
Dispensation
Sabbath,
128 of Genesis.
Rock of Ages.
The first of the 7 dispensations begins. Man was created in innocence and placed in a perfect environment. God presented him with a simple test and warned him of the consequences of disobedience. Man was not compelled to sin, but when tempted by Satan, he chose to disobey God. The first dispensation ended with the expulsion from Eden. Yeah, remember, God made man to have fellowship with them, and they walked through the garden and talked to him freely, love him freely, not, just have, a robot saying, I love you. Who wants somebody to love you, not freely, Remember, the Sabbath day is Saturday. You can see any calendar to see. Genesis 2:1. And thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the 7th day God ended his works in which he had made. And he rested on the 7th day from all his works which he had made. And God blessed the 7th day, and he sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his works in which God created and made. And these are the generations of the heavens and the earth, and when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was on the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. And for the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and it watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed a man out of the dust of the ground, and he breathed into his nostril the breath of life. A man became a living soul. The Edenic Covenant for 2:8. And this first of the 8 covenants made between God and man required Adam to fulfill these responsibilities. Number 1, propagate the human race. Number 2, subdue the earth for man. Number 3, have dominion over the animals. Number 4, care for the garden and eat the fruits of the herbs. 5, abstain from eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And so he did have some rules. And I guess he could eat the tree of life whenever he wanted. In Genesis 2:8. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man in whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. God indicates that every tree was good for 2 reasons. They were pleasant to the sight, and they were good for food. And yet 2 trees are to be distinguished from all the other trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. This verse prepares us to be better understanding what God expected of